Welcome to Studio J. My name is Chris. We are presented by Come Here NC, and we have in-house the Heavy Heavy.
Hello.
Georgie and Will, thank you for stopping by.
Thanks for having us.
I'm excited about this origin story because I feel like you've only been a group for a very short amount of time. Is that accurate?
I guess so.
2 years.
Yeah, in terms of it being on its feet, 2 years. The idea came in 2019, but we only played 2 acoustic shows and then COVID happened.
Yeah.
So we had to spend our time thinking about what we were going to release and just throw online in the throes of COVID instead. So once COVID was we were out of the worst of it, we found the guys and we played 6 pub gigs, and then record label and management came along. So it's a yes and no answer, really.
Quick.
Yeah.
So when what brought the two of you together?
Just making music on different projects actually before the Heavy, and just knowing of each other through other music. And I think at a certain point we put Georgie's voice on some demos I had for another band, and it just sounded so good, our two voices together, and we just thought, well, this is a thing, let's do it. It sort of just everything fell into place.
When that moment happened, what were you working on when the two of you went, oh, this could be a thing?
It was a demo for my old band, the White Feather Collective, but it was and I put your voice on, and it was meant to be a kind of gimme shelter kind of moment where his female voice comes in, but then it just had this explosion of kind of like Rolling Stones and our voices harmonizing together, and it sounded, particularly how Georgie's voice was hitting the microphone, I could hear actually there's a whole other level here that we could go to rather than sort of just one guy singing in one band. We could have many voices with Georgie's voice in there, and it was a real epiphany moment.
It
cool.
Really was. I can still remember it.
We're like, oh, this is something new. This is cool. This sounds like my favorite records.
But from that point, you've got other commitments when that happens. And so how long does it take for you to then decide that we need to make a change, I guess, and separate from these other things you're working on and come together?
That took maybe 2 or 3 years from that moment to then actually making it a reality.
So life rolled on. Naturally, it came. All those things came to a natural ending, really, and then at the right moment, we just sort of got together, and then it just one thing's happened. We're still looking back now, just hanging on for dear life, really.
Yeah, it's the funnest kind of ride, though.
Yeah, it's the best. It's a dream.
All right, so we've got the EP from you. It's been out for a little while. You've got a new album, your debut album, coming out. When's the due date on that? Have we announced that yet?
It's September the 6th.
Okay.
Yeah.
September.
So we're very, very excited.
What are we going to get on there? What's it going to be like? Is it different? I think the EP's, if I read correctly, EP a little folky, album a little more Brit rock, maybe?
Yeah, there's definitely something more bombastic in it. Mm-hmm. The EP, we really didn't know what we didn't expect any of this to happen. So we just chose 5 of the sort of best demos that we had that worked together, and they all kind of have their own identity. 6 tracks with very different identities, and I think when you're going from an EP to an album and you have twice the amount of songs to play with, you can watercolor the effect a bit more and blur the lines a bit more, and so that's kind of and it just gave us that chance to dig out even more older demos, some older than the ones that were on the EP, and then some that were sort of half finished at the time that we were looking to put the EP out, but were half finished, that we finished on the road, and so have more of a live feel to them as well. It's kind of it's got, every song still has its own identity, but there are more blurred lines and there's a bit more of a bombastic nature to it.
A little more maybe cohesion with an album.
For sure.
Kind of work together.
For sure.
When you went to record the album, you came to the studio, are those songs fully finished at that time, or do you go there with the intent of finishing the songs as a group or with a producer?
It's a sort of, there's lots of different ways that we do it, but I sort of, because we have a home studio.
Will is the producer.
Oh, gotcha.
So
okay.
I'll build everything at home. And then certain aspects will go down in another studio for capturing live stuff. For instance, doing drums. And some of the tracks are fully live. Everything's live. So it's a real mix of different ways of doing it. But predominantly, it comes from sort of constantly molding them at home, and the ability to just continually chip away at them all the time. So they're a constant. It's a sort of a straight line from demo to finished project. It's one thing. They never ever sort of change. They don't get re-recorded. I work on one version of it really, and then sort of go up from there to the final version.
What about the life of an artist do you find to be the hardest? I would think that getting on stage is the funnest, right? You get to play your music and connect with an audience, but behind the scenes, there's all this other work that has to happen to get to that point.
Yeah, I think the obligation now to do all of the social media sort of thing is I find very taxing, and I think that it's such a useful tool and we've got to use it. But for me personally, I find the whole thing sort of grotesque, and I think it's hard to find the
enjoyment in that.
Yeah, the enthusiasm to just have so much of it all the time. You know, I'd rather let the music speak for itself, but we still have to do that. But that's just the reality of it, and it's cool.
And that probably in some way helped you get to where you are.
Absolutely.
Having the ability to distribute music.
Absolutely.
Right?
That's the only way we are where we are. So yeah, it can be tiring and taxing, but you do have to then go, well, look at what it's brought us.
Yeah.
So.
What would have been the alternative careers if this hadn't happened?
I'd have been a singing teacher.
Oh.
I was a singing teacher for a bit.
Yeah.
So,
and you acted a little bit too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. And comedy writing. So I don't mind the social media stuff as much as Will, because I was creating content anyway. It comes a little bit more naturally to me, but I think the amount that you have to do can be tiring. Anyway, what's your other career?
I just don't know if there's any other option for me. I don't. I think I'd really struggle. Graphic design. I do a lot of the graphic design. Maybe I'll be a graphic designer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you do a lot of that now, you said?
Yeah, I do stuff for the band. Yeah. So
okay.
And other bands.
Yeah, and I've started doing it for other people as well.
Well, that's awesome.
I love it.
Will, Georgie, thank you so much for coming through Studio J. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Cheers.